According to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, a move to the upside is likely to come in the next 24 hours as Bitcoin's price today has slumped down to $69,000. Now, currently looking at the price of Bitcoin again here, you can see we're forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern within what is essentially a giant bull pennant. Now, if we're to break to the upside here, things are looking very strong, very positive, and it likely means that next week, heading into Bitcoin halving, which is only 7 days away at this point, it's going to get interesting, it's going to get wacky, it's going to get wild, and hopefully the price of Bitcoin is going to have some significant increases in price. Now, I've opened a new trade today. I'm going to show you that in today's video. I'm going to explain what I'm trading, why I'm trading it, and so if you don't mind, slap a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those channel notifications, join the TMG Trades community, and let's crack on with today's video. We've got to discuss what is currently going on with the price of Bitcoin first of all, and Bitcoin, looking at here, you can see the funding rates. They're not as high as what they have been previously. That's pretty good news. It means that a little bit of that heat has left the market. At the same time, we have a level of attraction up here at $72,000. But what is that looking like on a slightly higher time frame? Where are those key levels of liquidation for Bitcoin? Well, we've also got another one down here at $67,000, and currently Bitcoin sits between the two levels. Next week, on today, essentially, how many days? Yeah, 7 days. So basically on Saturday next week, April the 20th is when it's expected to happen at this point in time. Bitcoin halving is going to take place. When Bitcoin halving takes place, the question is, what is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin? Because for a while, we've been looking at this and it's been unclear whether it's going to be bullish or bearish news. We can see from this chart here, this is what happened when Bitcoin Cash had its halving the other day, today, and you can see the open interest drop significantly, causing a drop in the price of Bitcoin Cash. In fact, after Bitcoin Cash halving took place, Bitcoin Cash price dropped from $687 down to where it sits now, around $608. It's a pretty significant drop off in price, is that? It's around a 10% drop in price, and if Bitcoin were to experience a similar drop in price, you're talking like a drop down to, what's 10% less of where we are right now? Around $61,000, back down to this lower level of support here. And at that point in time, you're going to have people calling for lower drops. And to be honest, that doesn't not make sense. In fact, that kind of makes a lot of sense if that were to happen. Because although I am bullish on the short term leading up to Bitcoin halving, the question is what is going to happen at this point in time. And you can see here on the hourly chart, this is a very, very long-term trend line, is this. This dates back for an incredibly long period of time, and we've not really come down and retested it at all. So it might make sense for us to drop back down to this level next week, around $60,000, and retest that level of support. You never know what's going to happen, but I do know that Bitcoin halving ultimately is a fundamentally bullish event, and it should yield some very long-term positive moves in the crypto space. But what am I trading right now? What positions have I opened? I've opened a short-term scalp position on the price of Ethereum. Now, that trade is open over here on PHEMEX, for which you'll find a link for PHEMEX in today's video description. And if you use that link for PHEMEX in today's video description, you get a nice deposit bonus. At the same time, currently $1,700 in a loss on this trade. It's a decent size of trade, to be honest. It's an 88 Ethereum trade. It's nothing crazy. I'm not really over leveraging, not really using that much leverage at all. But I can tell you, looking at this, I think that a bounce upwards is coming at some point soon. It's been a large period of downtrend today so far for Ethereum. If we're looking at it, what we are right now, down 3% so far today. So that's a pretty significant drop off in the price of Ethereum. Compare that to Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin's price dropping off. In fact, if we scroll through here and we look at some of these altcoins, pretty much the entire crypto market today is red. And it's been feeling like that for a while. It's got to come, it's got to change at some point in time, and you know that it'll change at some point in time. You know that everything will just pick up one day and you'll regret not buying the dip. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm low leverage, buying the dip at these levels and hoping that the prices turn around and we experience some kind of bullish move in the next week or so. In terms of what's going on in today's news, of course, yes, Bitcoin Cash post-halving dive, open interest has dropped 47%. Bitcoin Cash has suffered since its halving event, with both its value and open interest dropping. It's pretty interesting what's going on here. Read the story on Crypto Saving Expert's website. But overall, so far for Bitcoin Cash, halving hasn't been positive. And halving tends not to be initially positive. It tends to be a sell the news event. and then it moves on and turns into a buy the news event. Now, GBTC fee will drop as Bitcoin matures. Grayscale is still expecting the price of Bitcoin to increase, and everybody knows that whatever happens with Bitcoin halving is certainly not the end of the bull market. And then what is Ethereum's Pectra upgrade? This is something that's coming to Ethereum late this year or in early 2025. The benefits are going to be the upgrade will bring additional functionality to self-custody wallets. EIP 3074 will allow standard wallets such as MetaMask to work like smart contracts. The additional features unlocked for wallet developers will allow them to integrate transaction bundling and sponsored transactions, opening the door to increased functionality and better user experiences. One of the things that's important to remember about crypto right now is we're still very early days. I know everyone thinks that, I'm too late to it, and I don't want to put all of my money in because I'm too late to it. Trust me, in 6-12 months' time, you'll feel like you should have put more in, because I've seen these bull markets take place before. We get the initial up, then you get your down, and then you get your up again, and then you're down, and then it goes on like that for a period of 18 months to 36 months, and then you have some kind of huge market collapse where everybody starts selling. We've not seen that yet. We don't seem close to a huge market collapse yet. We might see some big liquidations if the price goes south from these levels, but as it is, there isn't a huge amount of cryptocurrency left to be liquidated. Open interest is lower. Trading volumes are lower. Typically, that's a bearish short-term sign, which means I am currently betting against the trend in that I'm expecting the price of Ethereum to recover. But ultimately, I'm just taking a scalp long position, literally because Ethereum currently is at the bottom of its range. And if you look at this range here, look, if we lose the bottom of the range here, somewhere around the level of $3,409, look, at that point in time, it becomes probably worth taking a short position. As it is, I don't feel like it is worth taking a short position. I feel like a low leveraged long in this range here. Wait for the weekend to happen. It'll probably bounce back up to somewhere around $3,500. Then take profit on the trade, and then just kind of don't trade next week, because next week is going to be chaos. I'd say that this is kind of the last time that I'll be placing anything of any major size for at least a week. And then we'll see how things go from there. It might be time to take a bunch of short positions on things. You never know. Like, the market's going to enter into a serious period of volatility after Bitcoin halving. There's a lot of speculation on what's going to happen around the Bitcoin halving, but fundamentally, Bitcoin is healthier than ever. There's a chart here that I want to show you from June Analytics, and we talked about this in the previous video, how Bitcoin ordinals are looking healthier than ever, because I was thinking Bitcoin ordinals healthier than ever. A lot of people have been footing them, saying, look, interest is dropping. No, look, interest is starting to increase again. It comes in waves, doesn't it? People weren't interested in Bitcoin ordinals, but you're going to start to see people getting more and more interested. You can see this has literally just started to pick up again. Every single time it's picked up, it's resulted in a huge spike in ordinals. And I think that, to be honest, ordinals are only going to increase after Bitcoin halving, because if you understand the way that Bitcoin works, you'll understand that ordinals are probably one of the best places to be investing in right now in terms of cryptocurrency, literally because in order for Bitcoin to be as profitable to mine as what it currently is after Bitcoin halving, the Bitcoin miners need Bitcoin ordinals to take off to generate higher transaction fees. Because when you're sending or buying an ordinal, you're paying a transaction fee just like on Ethereum, and then that goes to the miners. Now, currently it goes to the stakers on Ethereum, but currently if you're sending a Bitcoin transaction, then it goes to the miners, to the fees. In that case, you want as many fees as possible, and currently the fees generated to date by ordinals are $461 million of additional profits given towards Bitcoin miners. The miners want this to increase consistently. They want to make as much money as possible from ordinals, so it's likely that ordinals are going to be a very good shout in the coming months, especially after Bitcoin halving, because the miners are going to put as much money into marketing and growing the ordinal space as possible, because it will increase their overall profitability. That's really the main things of today's video, to be honest. Bitcoin is now down at $69,000. It's not looking the healthiest thing on earth, but until we've completely failed out of this inverse head and shoulders pattern, I remain bullish. A point of which we fail would be around $67,900. Currently, we're around $1,100 away from that level, so we're a fair bit away from it. And what else is there? There's not really a lot else to discover. I don't know if anybody else joined me on the puff trade, but the puff trade has been going absolutely mental, while the market's been kind of a little bit in a sad space at the moment, just kind of doing nothing, going sideways, very little trading interest. Puff and a lot of meme coins have been popping off. There's Puff, there's Brett, there's Myro. A lot of them have been doing very well, and I've been enjoying investing in the meme coins. So I'll continue to do that. And yeah, today is an interesting one. The market is only going to get more volatile from here. Be careful out there. Trade with a stop loss. And if you're going to trade, check out PHEMEX. No KYC, no restrictions. Have a great day, everybody. See you in the next video. Check out links in today's video description. Bye-bye.